Okay, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone.
Waalaikumsalam.
Salam.
Okay, thank you for all the response. Okay, so today our lecture will continue our next chapter, which is software construction, right? So remember, last week what you have learned, software design principle, right? So after design, you start to implement or develop the system. That's why today we will learn the topic of software construction. Okay, so as usual, I will play topic presentations by your friends, okay, followed by level of understanding, and then a short quiz, okay, and then summary for today topics, right? So, are you ready?
Yes, Doctor.
Yes.
Right, thank you. Okay, let me share the video. So, if you feel sleepy this afternoon, you can grab a coffee, okay, and listen your friends' presentations and taking a short notes. Okay, what the overall of this topic, so that you can easily answer the quiz later on. Right? Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am from Group B5 and today I am going to present about software construction. So let's begin. Okay, for software construction, we are going to learn about constructing the code, minimizing complexity, anticipating change, constructing for verification, reuse, and standard in software construction. Okay, for the introduction, what is software construction? The term software construction refers to the detailed creation of working software through a combination of coding, verification, unit testing, integration testing, and debugging. After that, software construction is also closely tied to software design and software testing. This is because before software construction, the design is extremely important, so that way we can figure out whether the system can actually satisfy the client's need, and we can also figure out the flow of the system. So after the construction, testing is also very important, so that way we can see whether the system is actually excelling or whether it's actually failing. Okay, what does software construction produce? Software construction typically produces the highest number of configuration items that need to be managed in a software project. For example, source files, documentation, test cases, and so on. Thus, the software construction is also closely linked to the software configuration management. Okay, construction in software construction. Software construction is tool intensive. This is because these tools are used to produce and translate program representation, for instance, source code, which is sufficiently detailed and explicit to enable machine execution. Okay, why does construction highly related to computer science instead of information technology, IT? Well, this is because of the use of algorithm and the detailed coding practices, while IT mainly uses the problem-solving skills. Okay, so for the code construction, we have two languages, C++ and Java. So on the left side, we can see there's a diagram, a student diagram. Inside it, there are 4 variables and 2 methods. On the right side, you can first see the code construction for C++, and this is the code construction for Java. Okay, moving on. The minimizing complex. Human brains are limited to hold complex information, therefore, minimizing complexity is one of the strongest drivers in software construction. It is necessary to reduce the complexity throughout the life cycle, so that way we can make the workload a lot more efficient. However, as functionality increases, so does complexity, since the during the construction of a system, it is very normal for the clients to add some requests, therefore increases the functionality. Luckily, things can be accomplished through use of standards. For example, J2EE for complex distributed Java applications, UML for modeling all aspects of complex system, high-order programming languages such as C++ and Java, source code formatting rules to aid readability. Okay, anticipating change. Software changes over time. Anticipation of change affects how software is constructed. This can affect the use of control structures, handling of errors, source code organization, code documentation, and coding standards. Okay, after that, constructing for verification. Constructing software that allows bugs to be easily found and fixed. For example, enforce coding standards, helps support code reviews, unit testing, organizing code to support automated testing, restricted use of complex language structures. Okay, after that, for reuse. Refer to the use of existing software or software knowledge to build new software or solving different problems. Assets that can be reused include libraries, modules, components, source code, and commercial off-the-shelf COTS assets. Best practice, systematically, according to a well-defined repeatable process. Systematic reuse can enable significant software productivity, quality, and cost improvements. The standards in construction. The standards which directly affect construction issues include programming languages, example given, Java and C++, communication methods, document formats and contents, platforms, J2EE, Java 2 Platform, Enterprise Edition. And lastly, tools, the Unified Modeling Language, UML. And that's it for me. I will pass the presentation to another presenter. Thank you.
Why do we need to learn coding standard? It is to ease software maintenance, less bug, for teamwork, make it easier for team switching, and save costs. For the types of coding standard, the first one is by company, and second one is by programming language. There are several common practices for coding standard. The first one is identifications. It is to identify scope in some programming languages for the compiler. It is to show the identification of functions, objects, and other else. Below is the example of line of coding without identifications and with identification. Next is commenting code. Comments should clearly demonstrate the function of the code, both to yourself and to other developers to help them understand the function of the code. Comments should not too long. Comments should not be in every line, exceptions for functional languages. And it also should not be overcomplicated. The third common practice of coding standard is white space. It is very important but often overlooked. White space makes the code easier to read, especially important with large programs. Lack of white space can be very confusing. This is an example in line of coding with white space and without white space. The last common practice of coding standard is naming variables. Variable names are often thought to be less important, but they are vital to understanding certain pieces of code. In the majority of programming languages, variables can be assigned almost any name. Greenfield versus brownfield development. Greenfield development is when the software project starts fresh without any legacy system constraints or restrictions. Brownfield development is when the software project starts on existing or legacy system and infrastructure as an upgrade. The advantages of greenfield development is provide maximum design flexibility to meet requirement. New facility will reduce required maintenance and can be designed to meet current and future needs. The disadvantage is some systems are not fully developed and have additional development costs. Second one, stakeholder approval timeframes may be longer for new software projects. And the last disadvantage is it is high demand of a new software system could mean the delivery of the system is difficult or even impossible to meet. The advantages of brownfield developments, it may include existing stakeholders' approval. Second one, existing system infrastructure may already be in place. Third one, total project may cost less, but depends on how extensive the modifications are and whether existing system can be utilized without major modification. The disadvantages, design and operation efficiency is often compromised to suit existing constraints, and the legacy system can be rigid design and not meet new requirements, which is higher risk of new development and enhancements may be difficult due to me. That's all from us. Thank you.
Okay. Check in the chat box. Okay. I put a link for understanding voting. Okay, currently we have 14 votes. $18, $20, okay, 10 more. $24, 25, 5 more. Today we have 41 participants. Okay. Two person did not come to the class, huh? Okay, actually I haven't have time to check your attendance yet because actually there is a rule that if you did not attend a class 3 times, you will get a warning letter. Okay, 28, 2 more. Unless you give me the letter. So if you did not attend class, always remember to give me a letter. And the letter should be emailed to me. Okay, absent or apologize letter. Okay. If you have MC, do not just send the MC. MC is the attachment. You need to have the letter as well. Okay, come on, 2 more. Okay, so hari baru full attendance, 4 to 3. Okay, we have 30 votes. Okay, so based on your votes, okay, 93% saying maybe half. Right, okay, at least you get something, right? Maybe half, right? Okay, and 7%, which is from the 2%, saying that you get yes, more than half lah, which is good. Okay, great. Okay, I think the software construction is quite easy. Okay, remember, and it's only consists of one lecture, right? Rather than last week presentation, we have a few two slide presentations where we have system design principle and also the architecture, right? And same goes with previous on RE. You have 3 different slide, right? So for today, we only have 1 slide, okay, for software construction. Because software construction is just straightforward, okay, how you implement or you develop, okay, develop the software. Okay, remember what we have learned from start. Okay, first you've been introduced what is software engineering, and then you learn the process in software engineering, and then getting the requirement. Okay, requirement engineering, and after we get the requirement engineering, we start the design using the design principles. Okay, and then today is the next phases for development, which is system constructions. Okay, so check in the chat box again. Okay, I put a link for a short quiz, same what we have done before, simple or basic 2 questions regarding topic 5, software construction. Okay, so I give you 5 minutes, okay, 5 or 10 minutes to answer the questions. Okay, if everyone done, so we can proceed to the summary of the topics. Okay, so if you done quiz, okay, you may take 5. Okay, you may go for your toilet break, or maybe you want to make a coffee. Masih sempat lagi. Okay, jawab quiz dulu. Okay, baru pergi buat kopi. Okay. Okay, one person complete the quiz. Okay, continue. Right. Okay, continue. I give you 5 to 10 minutes lah. Depend on completeness of everyone. Okay, because I'm consider those having internet connections. Okay, you may need more times to answer the quiz. Okay, 15, done. Okay, 5 minutes done. But I only received 32 response. Never mind. I wait. I give you another 3 to 5 more minutes. Okay, 3 more minutes. Okay, last 1 minute. Now, 40 already done. Because actually we have 43 in the class, right? 26 plus 27 to group. Okay, we have complete 43, right? Let me stop the response first. Okay, let's go through the answer. Okay, question number 1. Why brownfield development is the best approach? So talking about the advantages, right? So existing system infrastructure may already be in place. Right, provide maximum design flexibility, new facility can be designed. This is for greenfield. Okay, so for brownfield is the second one, existing system infrastructure. Okay, because brownfield is continue from the existing system, right? Question number 2. To avoid issues in coding standard of software and construction, these are the common practices except, okay, so in coding standard, we do indent, commenting code, naming variable, okay, but minimizing complexity, okay, is the one that we need to consider when we do software construction, which is the main topic of this chapter lah. Okay, so it's not a coding standard issues, right? So most of you actually lah, even it's only 37, so the majority get the correct answer for both question, right? Kan saya kata fokus kan. Okay, let me share to the topics, right? Okay. Okay, software constructions again. Okay, this is the part where we start to implement on focusing on the development of the software. Okay, so software construction fundamentals means here if we are in the phase of software constructions, things to consider. Okay, things to consider, which is the fundamental of these phases. Okay, so we have 6 here. The first one is constructing the code. Okay, how we constructing the code. Okay, on minimizing the complexity, anticipating change, constructing for verifications, reuse, and standard in software constructions. Let's go through one by one. But before that, okay, let us define the term of software constructions. It's referred to the creations of working software, meaning that start developing the system, right? So it's combinations of coding, verifications, unit testing, all the testing lah, unit integrating and debugging. Okay, so in software construction, okay, it's closely tied to design and testing. That's why design and development is actually a part of implementations. Okay, so testing also actually include in the implementations, the constructions. Okay, but if you have another testing that we call evaluations, okay, maybe you want to evaluate the user acceptance, users behaviors, kan, okay, not a part of the system, because talking about software construction is all about the development of the system. So from design, develop, until the testing. Testing here is mean of unit, integrate, and debugging. Okay. So software constructions typically produce the highest number of configuration items that need to be managed a software project. Okay. Meaning here is the management of the software constructions, where it's been called software configurations management. Okay, so actually software construction is linked to software configurations management. Okay, mean the documentations lah. Okay, construction is tool intensive, meaning that is focusing on the hardware and software lah. Quality or lack thereof is very evident in the construction products. Meaning that's when we are talking about the quality of our projects, this is the phase looking on the software constructions, because we will come out, or the output of the end of the software constructions is the software itself, right? So this is the looking for the quality lah. Construction highly relate to computer science due to use of algorithm and detailed coding practice. Well, this is talking about the development where you do programming, okay? It's use algorithm and coding practice, okay? So, the first fundamental or things we need to consider in these software constructions is constructing code. Okay, what's language? Okay, constructing code means what's language that we need to use, right? C++ or Java. Okay, and the second is minimizing complexity. Okay, we try to minimize the complexity to develop the software. So humans are severely limited in our ability to hold complex informations in our working memories. Okay, we have short memories, long-term memories, right? So talking about human, we have limitations. Okay, we need to understand human have limitations. We have feels, we have emotions, kan? Nanti break up dengan girlfriend, you cannot do work. So this is also a part of the human limitations, because it involves emotions, tiredness, right? Okay, so memory as well. You might not remember all the phases one by one. When I asking you what we have learned in the past weeks also, I don't think that you can remember. All right, so this is talking about the memories. So we try to make the process less complex. Okay, so need to reduce complexity throughout the life cycle. Okay, we know the life cycle of system development. We plan, we analyze, we design, develop, and so on. So we have a lot of phases, kan? 5 to 6 phases. So we try to reduce the complexity, okay, to make us as human, as the ability of human can easily understand and remember it. Okay, takkanlah every time you want to develop system, open book, kan? What's next after this? Okay, or you may need to ask your friends, after this, what is the process? No, you are as a developer, software developer, you should know the process, right? So as functionality increase, so does complexity. Meaning that if you have many modules, and of course many modules means that you have many features and functions that you need to develop, right? So the increasing of the functionality, of course the process also will be more complex. Okay. Actually is accomplished through use of standard. Okay, meaning that the SDLC, okay, you have phase by phase, right? So actually it's standard. You just understand what is the phases included. Okay, it's standard actually. You develop any any project, any software is standard. What you should do first start until the end, right? Just maybe the features you have more on this project, you will have less on this project. Okay, so example using the Java J2EE for complex distributed Java applications. Sometimes people like to use a Java, but actually using a mixed language, okay, sometimes necessary lah. Okay, UML for modeling all aspect for complex. Okay, frankly speak with you all. Okay, we learn. You know that we learn UML, use case diagram, use case description, and in your lab sessions you have activity diagram, sequence diagram, and also class diagram, right? Okay, how many diagram that we have? Okay, frankly speaking with you all, in industry actually, okay, because I'm also been in industry before. For client, okay, we actually don't understand what all that diagram. That's for internally, okay, internally among your team members to report your project, okay. But for client, okay, we only provide flowchart, the flow of the process. Normally, I want to see that one only, okay, because that's much more easy for me to understand how the system works. Okay, rather you give me use case diagram, and then I need to understand the detail of the use case description, and then some more you have a sequence diagram. What is all about, right? So this is purposely, the detail of it is purposely for your reporting projects internally lah. Okay, and become the standardized of next time when you want to develop a system, this is the procedure that you need to follow. That's why we have a standard. Okay. High order programming language is how you select the language. Okay, sources code formatting rule, okay, to add readability. Okay, so we will go through the formatting later on lah when we go for the part of coding standard. Okay. The third one is anticipating change. Okay, we know software change over time. Okay, this year, what is the language that you use? Java, example. Next year, Python. The continue years, change again. That's the language. Okay, but we talk about technology, right? Now we are talking about 4IR, okay, and then 5IR. Okay, software change. What we call very frequently. Okay, if you develop a system, also you need to give update patches to your client because to fit with the technology, okay, the behavior of the internet structure also. Okay, sometimes you found that there is a debugging, or sometimes because of the change of the internet browser, okay, you need to send a new patches, okay, updated patches to your client for the system update, software update. Okay, so anticipating of change affect how software is constructed. Okay, this can affect on the use of control structure, handling of errors, source code organizations, code documentations, coding standard. So all this will affect. If software change, we might need to change other than included in the software lah, in terms of the coding, in terms of documentations, okay, and so on. Number 4 is constructing for verification. Okay, construct software that allows bugs to be easily found and fixed. Okay, example, enforce coding standard, help support code review. If you aware that every software or system there is a help button, right? So we normally have a standard issues that because of the catcher kan, bugging kan. So if it happen, you already have a standard what your users need to do, clear up your cache kan, and then some of the procedure that's you already been what we call it, been go through before, okay, the experience before. Okay, so you can put it as a helping button. Okay, so in constructing for verifications, okay, you can enforce a coding standard. Okay, so if we enforce the coding standard, so the coding standard will not be changed lah. Okay, so easy for us to verify for our implementations or development of the software. Help support code review. This is the one that I mentioned just now. Unit testing. Okay, that's why we have a test unit first. Okay, unit per unit, and then only we look into the integrations unit. Okay, and we look the whole system. Okay, so standard. After you do constructions, you need to do a unit testing first, and then integrate testing and overall system testing. Okay, then you can find any debugs that you need to fix. Organize code to support automated testing. Okay, will be good if you can consider your software can have a support automated testing. Okay, support automated testing because of the past experience, right? You know the standard that will be happen. For example, the catch just now, because normally the catch will the cookies, the catch kan, cookies looks like delicious, right? Cookies, but sometimes cookies will affect some of our setting or configurations in the computer. Okay, restrict use of complex or hard to understand language structure. Some cases, okay, some developer are using a different language, okay, because it depends on the developer, right? So you mix up or you use a language that hard to be understand, okay, and if it been passed to another developer, okay, who might upgrade from the existing system, it may have a difficulty to understand the language that only been understand by previous developer. Okay, so before yes, normal developer will use hard code their coding by their own lah. Okay, but will be good if you have a standard example that you want to create a menu, right? So you have a standard coded using what language, and then you can copy and paste and then modify it rather than you do hard code. Okay, and the language might not understand with the others developer. Okay, reuse. Okay, reuse refer to using existing asset in solving different problem in software construction. Typical asset that I reuse include the libraries, the modules, the components, the source code, and commercial off-the-shelf codes. This is the one that I mentioned just now. Okay, easy for you to have the source code that we just reuse it to create a website. So this is the code to create a website. Okay, so of course one website will be different with another website, right? So you just modify from it the content. Kan? If the coding for creating a chat box example, so this is the standard code that you can modify from it rather than you use your own code, hard code, okay, and it might not be understood by other developer. Okay, instead of code, libraries, okay, libraries, modules, components, and others asset also need to consider on the reuse it rather than you create a new one. You have a lot of libraries, right? But actually you can put it in a common folder so that those who want to develop a system, it just look into in the folder and look at the similar system, okay, and then modify from it. Okay? That's why we talk about the reuse. Reuse is best practice systematically according to well-defined repeatable process. If the source code and the library that you use obsolete, okay, you just put a new updated folder, okay, and then the previous the next developer will just reuse the updated one, and if there is some issues, then they can look back into the old folder lah where you already archive it. Okay, so That's why it's been said that it's a best practice. You can save time, save costs, right? Systematic reuse can enable significant software productivity, quality, and cost. So if we can reuse it, so it's much more productive, meaning that you don't have to look back or you need to do a hard code. So it's much more productive because it's already there, reuse it or modify it. Okay, talking about the quality, previous one is not so quality. This is the time for you to reuse it and improve it, right? So this also can avoid high cost. So it's cost improvement. The last one, okay, the last one, we have 6, right? The last one is standard in construction. Means talking about the coding, programming, right? So standard which directly affect construction issues, which is on the programming language. Okay, standard language like Java, C++, C, Python. Okay, actually there is a lot of language lah being used. Okay, previously or currently. Okay, so normally we use Java, C++, and C, kan? But actually there is a lot more language available for computer science. Okay, communication method. Okay, in terms of the standard document or content. Okay, platform. Okay, programmer interface standard for operating system called J2EE. So this one is the standard platform lah using the J2EE. And standard on the tools. Okay, example diagrammatic standard for notation, like the one that you use UML, kan? Okay. So, talking about the coding standard, okay, because we know that when we start to do software development, software construction, okay, we need to include coding, okay. So, why should we have a coding standard? Okay, because easy to maintain the software later on. You can avoid or maybe make it less bugs, okay, and it shows a teamwork. You have the standard, so your group can use it, can make use of the coding that already been standardized. Team switching, this happen when you have a group of project doing one project, and then the second projects, the team change, maybe some of them retire or been changed to other company, right? So when the team is switching, okay, switching for the good or for the bad lah, kan? So you have the backup, you have the standard, so you don't have to learn again for the fundamental, kan? So easy if you already have the standard, just follow and continue it. Okay. Also talking about the cost, okay, because if you have the standard, you don't need to start from the beginning, okay, you just use it. Okay, types, okay, coding standard can be by company, can be by programming language. By company, that your company is implement the coding standard, okay, so follow that lah, because I have my students is working with one company, okay, as a software engineer, okay. So I asked her, okay, what's do your company have a coding standard? They said yes. Okay, coding in terms of what? Okay, they said in the method whereby they use agile iteration of, I'm not sure what is the platform or standard that she mentioned, okay, but it's an example of a coding standard lah, okay. By programming language, this is standard by some of the bodies given to macam ni lah, macam MBOT, macam MQA, kan, the body that creating the coding standard that you might need to use it, okay, IEEE, something like that. So it's established standard lah that we can use it, okay. So if there is an issues on standard in coding just now, okay, this is a common practice solution that we will do, okay. One of it is indent indentation. Just now your friend's presentation is missing N, right? Indentation, right? So indent. You know, when you do a word typing, you have the format of indent kan? What is indent? Macam buat paragraph kan? Indent and bagi spacing. Something like that lah. So identify scope in some programming language for the compiler, indent of functions, object, and etc. Indent macam space. Okay, let's look this example. Okay, so if you see like this one, so this one you put a bracket and then you put indent, return true, and then else not indent, right? And then the second part, system out print in is indent. So this is the indent lah, indent use. So what happened if you did not put this indent? Okay, so this is the common practice lah. Next, commenting code. Okay, comment should clearly demonstrate the function of the code. Okay, normally in the source code, not source code, in the above part on your coding, kan, you put a comment. Kan? Comment actually to give a description, to give instruction, right? So that those continue or use your coding, they know lah the code is for what or what version that been used. Okay, so comment should clearly demonstrate the function of the code, both to yourself and to other developers. See, because we encourage of the reuse, right? So you put the comments is not only for you, because you might lose your memories, right? So you need to have that comment, or also for the other developer who might interested to use your coding, right? Okay, not too long. Okay, tak payah macam novel kan, atau buku cerita. Okay, just a simple but the message is delivered well lah, meaning that short and using the word smart kan, short and precise. Okay, comment should not be every line. Okay, you don't have to put comment for every line. It's based on maybe one paragraph is for one features, one function, right? So you put comment at the above part, and you don't have to put line by line. This code is for what, and next code is what you need to do. No need. Okay, so overcomplicated, meaning that you use a jargon word, word that cannot be understand by others lah. Bunga-bunga. Maybe the developer is the one who like to do a poem, kan? You don't have to create a poem in your source code. Okay, just directly. Okay, simple and precise, kan? Okay, so next, white space. Okay, white space is for what? Okay, is same thing with word formatting, kan? White space very important but often overlooked. Okay, makes the code easier to read. This is the purpose lah. White space, spacing for easier to read. If all no spacing, all compact, no paragraph, so it's kind of hard for us to understand and difficult to read it, right? So especially important with large program, lack of white space can be very confused. What happened if you look at one coding without white space? So all the coding are jumped into one paragraph, which without the white space. So you also couldn't understand, right? So this coding is for what and what is it, right? So this is the importance of white space to easier to understand and also for read. Okay, for example, like this one. Okay, from this one, okay, which is you put everything in one line. Okay, and rather than this one, okay, you have a space, the bracket as the below part. Okay, so you can understand this is for what purpose, and this is for the output of the system, right? So which one much more easy to read? Of course, the below part, right? Next, naming variable. Okay, name the variable. Okay, variable name are often thought to be less important, but they are vital to understanding certain piece of code. Okay, sometimes we think that tak payahlah variable name the variable because I already know. You already know, right? Okay, that's why they said that sometimes we just think that it's less important, but actually it have impact, right? In the majority of programming language, variable can be assigned almost any name. Okay, so naming variable will help to avoid any issues in your coding standard. Example like this one. Okay, this could be anything, right? You just put this code. Okay, we might think that this code is what variable. So that's why it's good to name the variable instead of just A H Z O T E, right? So you better name it. Okay. A is what is it? Maybe name the variable. Apa contoh dia variable dia? Apa nak cakap? Number. You can put a number lah. Example, right? 20. If you are using a calculations, but if you are using a sentence, name it. So rather than you make it as symbol, okay, A H Z, put it as a name. So if what give me one example. Okay, I couldn't think of one of the name of variable. Bagi saya satu nama. Any variable. Okay. Contohlah bahasa Melayu je lah saya buat kan. Fruit kan. Bahasa Melayu pula bahasa Inggeris. Normal. Fruit kan. Fruit. You letaklah A tu ialah fruit. Okay. First fruit of price. Kan also price. You want to list all the fruit. Okay. Fruit that have more vitamin C kan, rather than you put A, H. Later on you need to define what is A and H, and later on maybe you want to modify the system and you couldn't identify what is A stand for, H stand for, Z for stand for, right? Okay, so name the variable. So the last one is greenfield versus brownfield development. Okay, this one is also to help in the standard coding system. Okay, so greenfield versus brownfield. So what is greenfield and brownfield? Okay, of course ni hijau ni coklat kan. Greenfield developments mean that the software project start fresh without any legacy system constraint or restrictions, meaning that fresh. Okay, you create from the sketch. Okay. Whereas brownfield, okay, is the software project that start on the existing or legacy system that you might need to improve. Okay, you might to add on or modify it. So existing or legacy system and infrastructure as an upgrade. So the purpose, of course, improve, upgrade, right? So what is the advantage using the greenfield and also brownfield? Okay, greenfield. Okay, we know greenfield is fresh. Okay, fresh. You start from the sketch. So it's provide maximum design flexibility to meet requirement. Okay? Meaning that it's a fresh, right? So it give you maximum design flexibility that you might want to use it, want to choose it, right? New facility will reduce required maintenance. Okay? If you are following the new technology, new facilities, you might have less maintenance. Because it's cope with the technology, right? Can be designed to meet current and future. Okay, because it's fresh. So you've been identified that previous users and the next generation's requirement. Okay, that's why it's include both lah, current and future. However, using greenfield also have disadvantage, where some systems are not fully developed and have additional development cost because it's a fresh. Okay, you might not have a full development, or you might need increase your cost. Okay, stakeholder approval time frame may be longer for new software project because it's new. it's taking time to get approval from the stakeholder. Okay, high demand of a new software system could mean the delivery of the system is difficult or even impossible to meet. Okay, because it's fresh, right? When something is fresh, people want to add new technology, new features, which is high demand, which is you might not have a skills or you might not have a resource, okay, to design or develop it. Okay. So another options for development is using brownfield. So what is the advantage of brownfield? First, may include existing stakeholder approval because the software is already there. So of course, if it's already been established, it's already get approval from the stakeholder, right? Okay. Existing system infrastructure may already be in place because it's already been used, it's already there, it's already get approval. So it's more it's already been approved lah. Approved. So it's in place. The system structures, architectures is in place. Okay. Total project may cost less, but depend on how extensive the modification are and whether the existing system can be utilized without major modifications. Of course, by reuse the existing system, you can reduce the cost. Okay, you just take it and modify it, right? But it's depend on the projects. If the changing, the modifications, okay, is high extensive, high demand, major modifications, so it may increase the cost. Okay. Okay, instead of just now the advantage, okay. Brownfield also have disadvantage. Okay, design and operation efficiency is often compromised to suit existing constraint. Okay, of course, talking about the design, maybe the design and operations already obsolete. Okay, because talking about the constraint of the new technology, new platform that may change differently for the company, so it may have many constraints on it. Okay, legacy system can be rigid design. So talking about the design, rigid. Okay, it may need fulfill the future generations for your generation because the existing system might design previously in late 1980, right? So in other generations, okay? But in generation that born on millennium, kan? 2000 and above, okay? You might think that the design is not suitable with you, okay? Macam fashion lah kan, fashion dulu, fashion sekarang lain kan. So fashion dulu mungkin rigid kan, you have a few options. Sekarang macam-macam you can choose, either you can goes back to the previous fashion pun kan. So it may not meet the new requirement. Okay, so when it not meet the requirement, so it will high risk. Okay, high risk on the development and will enhance, and the enhancement may be difficult. Okay, better for you to change everything, right? Rather than you improve using the existing, but it's taking more times, more cost. So buang terus macam buat rumah kan, example when you design a house kan, or renovate kan, mana senang, okay, rumah yang dah ada you renovate, okay, ataupun you ada tanah, you create your own rumah, ataupun you ada rumah tu you buang, robohkan, and then you create build another houses. Which one? So of course each of these have pro and cons, right? Sometimes if you think that okay, sikit je lah you nak buat renovation kan, okay, nak tambah extend sikit bilik air, living room tu buat macam macam ada living room tu macam ada cinema kan, ubah sikit-sikit, okay. But what happen if you think that the design is old kan, ni design macam rumah dulu-dulu je kan, you don't like that, you want to have smart houses kan, all the piping system, all the cabling system kan, teknologi, smart teknologi, dia dah tak guna cabling ni, semuanya wireless kan. So better robohkan semua and then create new one kan. So each of it have pro and cons lah. That's why existing okay sometimes if the modification is less lah. But if the modifications is higher, or the requirement is higher kan, nak lebih canggih apa semua, lebih baik robohkan daripada you ubah sikit and it's taking more cost. Kan? Okay. That's all. Thank you. Thank you. Slide lah maksudnya. Senang tak? So to summarize again, in software constructions is talking about the development of the software. Okay, so when you develop a software, of course it will include the coding, the platform, the technology, right? So what you need to consider for the fundamental of software constructions, you have six items. One is construct code. What code or language to be used, right? Second, minimize complex. Okay, minimize complex, the procedure and so on. Number 3, anticipating change. Consider the technology, the platform that you use. Is it easy to maintain or not? Okay. Number 4, construct for verifications. Do we need to get a new approval? Stakeholder, construct for verifications. Okay. Should we have it standardized? Okay. And number 5, reuse. Okay. Can it be reused to develop another system? Okay. And last, number 6, standard in standard in coding. What is it? The last one? Number 6. Number 6. Standard in construction. Involve programming, communication, platform and tools. Okay. Boleh? Okay, thank you for the response. Okay, simple kan? Tu saya kata topic 5, software construction, easy lah. Make sure you understand what is consists in the fundamental of software constructions. Okay, and then each one of the details, okay, you can understand lah. Okay, kan, construct code. Okay, dalam construct code you ada construct code ke yang ada? Oh, that one is which one lah? Yang coding kan? Number last ni you have more lah. You have more issues on the programming language, communication and platform and also tools. Okay, programming in term of common practice of indent use, commenting code, white space and naming variable. Okay, and on approach for construction, okay, you may use one of this development approach, greenfield or brownfield. Okay. Alright, so that's all for today. Okay, but okay, let me review again what in the SOW. Okay, following the format lah. What is our planning for the next class? Okay, so we finish the software construction, right? Okay, next week will be software verification and validation. Okay, but in the lab session we have industrial talk, which is optional. So actually I plan to invite my previous student lah, okay, which is already work as a software engineer. Purposely for software engineer, I want her to share with you all, okay, what's been applied in the work environment lah, so that you have a better understanding the situation as become software engineer. Okay, so however, the talk, okay, because my students because she is working. The one that I choose is have an experience, I think 2 or 3 years, okay, just new. But it's good for you because fresh, right? Fresh graduate. It can give you a good practice lah. What later on you will do in company, right? So that's why I take the one who more fresh, okay, fresh on software engineer, but also have an experience doing a few projects. Okay, then you will learn something from her lah. Okay. However, actually that I want to talking about the times lah. However, because of working hours, right? She couldn't attend on the working hours lah. Okay, so I seek your opinion. Okay, to propose night. Okay, actually, she can either weekend or night. Okay, but for me better night lah, night session, right? Night session better rather than weekend because I don't want to kacau your leisure time kan on weekend kan. You might have personal things to do kan, nak pergi dating ke saya tak tahu kan. So will be better lah if we can do weekday on the night. Boleh tak weekdays on the night? And this one will replace your next week lab session. Okay, the lab session is replacing lah. So one session only consists of the two group. Okay, everyone will join together. Okay, so next week you don't have to attend lab session because that was the replacement of lab session. Hari apa yang sesuai? Should we do this week or next week? Can we do this week? Sempat tak kalau this week? Kalau next week kan, because next week's a little bit packed for me because I have a few event for next week. Monday 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay. Boleh ke kalau kita buat this week Thursday? Today is Tuesday, right? So you have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tapi Friday night fever kan? Lain pula lah kan? So, what is the day on the night that you think that suitable for everyone? Anyone have a proposed day? Ada siapa-siapa nak cadangkan hari apa? Thursday. Itulah saya plan pun Thursday sebenarnya. Okay, so next week you don't have lab session. So it already replaced the lab sessions. You only have a lecture on the Tuesday lah. So meaning hari Isnin nanti you tak ada lab untuk group A kan. And then tomorrow lab session group B pun tak ada. Because dah replace dengan ni lah industrial talk ni. Boleh tak Khamis ni? Sebab next week saya macam banyak benda nak buat lah. Daytime and night also. So this week will be the good thing lah. Thursday. Boleh Thursday? Okay. So face to face? No. Online. Because she now in Penang. Penang is mostly banyak kan company software. So that's why I choose her lah. To give you a fresh experience and also some of experience doing a project lah. Kalau ambil yang dah senior sangat, you tak faham, betul tak? So better yang fresh, dah taklah terlalu fresh, dia ada juga experience few project. Okay, so it's good for do a sharing lah. Online, bukan face to face. Online malam. Kita buat dalam tak lama, 1 jam saja mungkin, tapi ada buatlah Q&A session. So you can ask her anything. Okay, you want to know the real situation in industry kan? Pakai ke sistem-sistem ni semua, proses-proses ni, principle ni semua, ada ke? You tanyalah dia. Okay, boleh kan? So normally 8-10 ke atau 8-10 lah standard kan, 8-10. So actually 8 to 9. Okay, but we extend a few minutes for ni lah Q&A session. So use the time to ask anything, okay, that might you think that pakai ke kita sistem apa ni, you learn system requirement document, system design document, tanya dia. So kalau pakai, maksudnya what you learn today will be useful for your work later on lah kan. Okay, so Khamis pukul 8, okay, 8. So put as 8 to 10 lah. Okay, maybe we can finish early, but I just put as 2 hours lah, 8 to 10. Okay, ada objection? Semua okay? Okay. Okay, Khamis malam Jumaat kan. Kalau ada yang nak bacaan Yasin tu, nak sembahyang baca Yasin tu, lepas tu boleh lah kan, lepas pukul 10 tu masih valid lagi. Still malam. Manalah tahu, saya cakap mesti ada tu. Bukan Khamis malam Jumaat yang lain, Khamis malam Jumaat untuk bacaan Yasin. Okay, jangan fikir yang lain-lain, okay? Alright. Okay, kalau tak ada objection, okay, I hope everyone will be there and make sure lah answer pula. Give a questions to her. Okay, tanya dia orang. Dig out, okay. Guna ke proses-proses SDLC ni kan? Guna ke all the documents? Tanya dia. So this is your chance kan? Your chance to have asking the questions that related with you guys lah. Mana tahu nak guna nanti kan. Cakap buat apa belajar susah-susah tapi tak guna nanti kerja kan. So tanya dia, guna tak benda tu. Of course, it's depend on the organizations and depend on organization or company, or also depend on the project, okay. But standard lah, lebih kurang je, lebih kurang. Macam tu lah maksud saya, okay. So jangan lupa tanya soalan. So maybe I can put at least, okay. We have how many group here? 10 kan? Ada 10 group kan? 5 group daripada group A, 5 group daripada group B kan? At least 1 soalan daripada setiap kumpulan. Boleh? So bagi dia 10 soalan. Okay. Alright. 1 kumpulan, create 1 soalan untuk tanya kita punya invited ni lah. Invited industrial talk ni. Tanyalah dia. Tapi janganlah tanya soalan yang mengarut. Maksud saya yang related with the software engineer lah. Because you want to know macam mana become a software engineer ni kan. So how it works as a software engineer. Okay. Tanya dia lah. Okay. I'm not sure I can invite 2 person. Okay. But the confirm one is 1 person lah. Dia kerja untuk software company. Okay. So it's good for you lah to ask about software construction, software design and so on. All about our topics here. Okay? Right? Boleh? Bukan Khamis depan Khamis ni jam 8 hingga jam 10. So make sure sign in attendance lah, ada attendance. Okay? So nanti saya akan bagi link later lah. Okay? So next week you don't have a lab sessions. Okay? So Monday group A tak payah ada lab session. Tomorrow Wednesday another group pun tak ada lab session because it's already been covered for the industrial talk kan. Looking at your SOW, so we have the industrial talk. So you can continue with your assessment lah. Alright. Any question? Or any questions related with software constructions? Which one yang maybe you need more explanations? I hope that most of you vote for half understand will be better understand lah. Easy, right? So what's need to consider or the fundamental of software construction? Okay. If no question, okay, I think that's all for today. Okay. Talking about your test. Okay, I will complete within this week lah. Okay, nanti after I complete, then we will discuss another week too. We will discuss the answer together. Alright. Okay, thank you everyone. See you on Tuesday and Group B. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, doctor. Have a good day.